Hello, welcome back to KennyOrtiz.com. So glad you decided to stop by my website and check out this video series. If you have any questions or comments for me, please feel free to leave a comment on the website or drop me an email. I'll be glad to hear from you. It'd be great. I've been asked a couple questions recently that I think are really good questions and really important questions to answer that are all sort of related to a similar topic, and I want to sort of address them. This video series is in direct response to questions I've been asked, like why are there so many different churches, or how did the church start, or there's so many different churches, how do we know which one's the right church or the pure church, or why are there so many different denominations, or why are there so many different theological debates or theological differences, or what's Catholic versus Christian, what's the difference, are they the same, are they not the same, or should they be the same, or who's the Pope, or why do we have a Pope, or why is there a Pope, or I've been asked all kinds of questions about that, and then some questions about the Reformation. What was the Reformation? What was it all about? Why is it important? What is Reformed theology? What is Calvinism? What is Arminianism? What's the difference? And all sorts of different questions I've been asked by different people, both Christians and people who are not Christians. So my goal for this series is to answer a variety of those questions. I think a lot of those questions are tied to church history and world history. If you have a grand understanding, overall good picture of church history and world history and how they influence one another, then you have a really good basis for answering all of those questions. And then also I think it's really important to appreciate church history as a whole, particularly for those of you who claim to be Christians. Those of us who are believers, the heritage that we have, that we are a part of, the legacy, the traditions, the mandate that we have inherited is really amazing, and I think it's important for us to appreciate and acknowledge the tremendous job, the phenomenal job that the early church fathers did in laying a foundation in the 1st and 2nd century that would allow the church to grow and be so influential in our lives today, and allow the message of the gospel of Christ to remain. It really is awesome. And so I think it's really, really important for us to understand world history as a whole and church history, to understand, the Roman Empire, what was going on in the Roman Empire in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd century, to understand the early church fathers, Ignatius and Clement and Polycarp. And the people don't even know who these guys are. And these are some men that had some tremendous influences in the latter portions of the 1st and the early portion of the 2nd centuries. And so, the different, the launching of different social things like hospitals and orphanages, the political influence that Christians had in the Roman Empire, and the tremendous persecution of Christians, the Council of Nicaea and the development of the canon, the influence of Constantine, the rise and the fall of the Roman Empire, the rise of the Byzantine Empire, the Crusades, the development of the Catholic Church, the institution of the Pope. These are all major events throughout church history that had significant influence over world history. And then obviously, the Renaissance in the 1300s and 1400s, and then which led to the Reformation in the 1500s, and then the founding of the United States. The ending of slavery. All of these things are directly related to Christianity and to Christians. And so, while it is true there have been a lot of ugly and bad things that have happened throughout world history, a lot of people who claim to be Christians, and a lot of church leaders have done a lot of evil things, a lot of black eyes to the church. There are a lot of great things a part of this that are a part of this heritage that we are a part of, that we have inherited as Christians today. So I think it's important to understand those things. I think it's important to not try to hide the incredible atrocities done by people who claim to be Christians. I think it's important to not deny the ugliness of the church in some aspects. But I think if we can learn from them, we're able to, I think we can really enrich our lives and our understanding of the gospel as a whole, and how it influences the lives of people, both individually on a local scale as well as all of humanity on a large scale over a larger period of time. So basically, this series is going to focus on answering all of those questions. giving you a glimpse into world history, church history, how the two are related, different things that Christians have done, different historical evidences and archaeological evidences to understand different events through world history and how it affected the Christian church, the difference between Catholicism and Protestant Christianity. I'm going to talk about the Reformation. What is Reformed theology? What is a Calvinist? What is Arminius? What's the difference? Why is it important? I'm going to talk about all the different denominations that we have today, where they came from, and how they sort of developed, and how can we know today, 2,000 years after Jesus lived, what is the true gospel message? What is the true message of the Bible? What is the true sort of, as some people like to call, what is the true or pure church that is out there? I'm going to address that and answer all of those questions in this video series. Enjoy, and if you have any questions, again, please feel free to shoot me an email or drop me a comment on the website.